Hey everyone, it's Melinda with Tailored and Teal, and welcome back to another What Sold video. These are sales from March 1st through March 15th of 2024 on Poshmark and eBay because I didn't have sales anywhere else. I am back after a 2-week hiatus here on YouTube and also just in reselling in general. I went down to Pennsylvania for 2 weeks to help my mom while going through a medical issue right now. Caregiving is hard, so if I look exhausted, I am. I've actually been home for 3 or 4 days now, and I'm just still mentally and physically exhausted. I'm not really ready to explain what my mom is going through right now. First of all, it's not my story to tell. And I also don't think my mom wants her business put out onto the internet for everybody to see. So thank you in advance for your patience and your understanding during all of this. I will be going back down to Pennsylvania in a few weeks to help take care of her still. And then we don't really know what the game plan is after that. With that being said, I do have some sales to report during March 1st through March 15th. However, it's really more like March 1st through March 8th because I closed all of my closets, my stores, my pages down from March 9th until March 22nd. So this video will probably be a little short just because I don't have as many sales to report. But of course, I wanted to get a video out for you so you can see what is selling. I had no sales on Mercari and I had no sales on Curtsy, so we're going to move right along to Poshmark, where I had 7 sales. The first sale on Poshmark was a Leah Sophia ring. It was a black faceted oval glass silver tone split shank ring. This was in very nice condition. It came out of my Shop Goodwill ring lot and it sold for $9 with discounted shipping. Next up is a Pure Jill Kimono Coral Pink Linen Blend Boxy Lag & Look Knit Blouse. This came out of a mystery box that I purchased from, I think it was Rock Sustainables or something like that. Honestly, it wasn't that great of a box, so I will not be purchasing from them anymore. But this is one of the first things to sell from that box. It sold for $22 with discounted shipping. Next up, we have a vintage 1937 Pictured Knowledge volume number 4. This book, while it was geared towards children and children's education, it had the most beautiful illustrations from the 1930s and 1940s in the back of it. Some of them I even thought about keeping the book and framing myself just because they were so cool. So while I was cleaning these books, I actually showed Instagram some of the pages. And one of my good reselling friends who has purchased from me many times before said that she wanted this book and to let her know when I posted it. So I listed it, let her know, and she purchased it immediately for full asking price of $14. So Cindy, if you're watching, you know I appreciate you. I hope you enjoy your book. Next is a pair of shorts by the brand Cheap Monday. They are a black cotton blend mid-rise shorts, size 27. I believe these came out of a ThredUp rescue box, probably a mixed clothing or maybe even denim. And they sold for $14 with discounted shipping. We have a free to me item. This was an Always For Me solid black Isabella tankini top and matching swimsuit bottoms. This was given to me by my mother-in-law. This sold relatively quickly within, I believe, a week of me listing it. It sold for $20 with discounted shipping. Next up is a new Faith Heart 18 karat gold-plated cable chain link long necklace. This came out of my Via Trading Amazon jewelry lot, and it sold for $15, which was my full asking price. The last sale on Poshmark was an Under Armour gray Heat Gear loose fit short sleeve shirt, and it sold for $12 with discounted shipping. So of my 7 Poshmark sales, I had $106 in sales, $23.20 in fees, $10.10 in shipping discounts, giving me a profit of $72.70. My average sales price for each item that sold was $15.14. Moving on to eBay, where I also had 7 sales. The first sale was a lot of vintage magazines. If you remember my last What Sold video, I had quite a few of them sell. This one was September, October, November, and December of 1945 ladies' home journals. They sold for $22.22. Next up is a faux square opal silver tone rhinestone dangle drop pierced earrings. I think that these came out of a thread up 15-piece jewelry rescue box, and they sold for $11.04. Next up, we have a Justin Girls top grain tooled leather rhinestone heart buckle belt. It was very tiny. It was only measuring 18.5 to 22.5 inches. So I knew from that it was a girl's belt. It sold for $11.50, and this came out of one of my belt unboxings from shopgoodwill.com. Next up is a vintage 1965 Uptown Downtown The Bank Street Readers hardcover book. It was made in the USA. It was a children's educational textbook, and it sold for $10, and it sold within 1 day of me listing it. And then here comes more magazines. I think that I had just finished listing all of my magazines a few days before, so I kind of figured I would have an influx of sales of these, and thankfully I did. So the first lot is May 1944, May 1946, and March of 1945 ladies' home journals. These were not in the greatest condition. In fact, all three of them, I believe, were missing their back covers. Some of the pages were waterlogged, some were torn out. So I said that it would be great for a crafting project, and they sold for $14.99. Next up is April, May, and June of 1945 from Ladies' Home Journal again. I did use the keywords floral and brides because on each of the covers, each lady had some type of headpiece that had flowers on it, or the cover had flowers on it of some sort. And I thought it was very spring bride-like, so that's why I used the keyword brides. They sold for $20, and that was an offer from the customer. And then the last item to sell is more magazines. It was October, November, and December of 1944 Ladies' Home Journals magazines, and these sold for $22, which was an offer I sent to the customer. So of my 7 eBay sales, I had $111.75 in sales. My shipping profit was $28.07. Fees were $36.75, giving me a profit of $103.07. And my average sales price for each item that sold was $15.96, which is very similar to what my Poshmark average sales price was. So now for my total sales from March 1st through March 15th of 2024. Although really it's March 1st through March 8th. But considering I had my stores and closets closed down in the middle of March, I'm actually quite surprised that I had so many sales in the beginning of the month. So I had a total of 14 sales, $217.75 in sales. Fees were $41.98. My cost of goods was also very low because I sold several free-to-me items. Cost of goods was only $19.31, giving me a profit of $156.46. And my average cost of goods for each item that sold was $1.38. Like I said, I sold a lot of free-to-me items, which makes that number go down, which I like to see. Well, that concludes this super short what sold video. I always appreciate you being here and watching. And thank you again for your patience while my family is going through this health issue at the moment. I will have part 2 of the giant jewelry unboxing up soon. And I probably will have another what sold video to go out before I have to go back to Pennsylvania. So there may be a few weeks where you don't get a video. But again, thanks for understanding. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.